예, 안녕하세요. 영어를 영화로 가르쳐주는 쌤입니다. 오늘은 8번째 얘기입니다. 자, 바로 들어가시죠.
I'd never been embarrassed by where we lived before.
I never embarrassed. 자, 다시
I didn't
올게요.
like it. I was slipping, man. And it was time to get a grip.
예, I'd never been embarrassed by where we lived before. 그렇죠? 그러니까 내가 어디에 사는 거에 대해서 당황한 적이 없어. 거죠? 왜 그러냐면 브라이스라는 친구가 네 집 메스하다고 저번에 얘기했었죠. So I'd never been embarrassed by where we lived before.
I'd never been embarrassed by where we lived before. I also never really thought about money.
I also never thought about money. 돈에 대해서 생각해 본 적이 없다.
I knew we weren't rich,
I knew we weren't rich.
but I didn't feel like we were missing anything.
I didn't feel we are missing anything. 내가 돈은 많이 있는 것 같지 않아도 우리 가족이 미스하는 게 하나도 없었다는 거죠. 나는 행복한 삶을 산다. 그 얘기를 하는 거죠.
That is until Bryce Losky called our home a complete mess.
Yeah, that is until Bryce called the house is complete mess. 라고 했죠.
What's your name? What's your name? Is it Mary or Sue? What's your name? Do I stand a chance with you? It's so hard to find a personality with charms like yours for me. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee.
I had to do something, and I knew what it was.
What's your name? Shoo-ba-doo-ba-ba-da.
Oh, you're sounding really good.
You're sounding
We're
really
going to record it in
good.
Skylar's garage this weekend.
That's a wonderful project.
Speaking of projects, I was thinking it might be cool to fix up the yard.
It sounds cool to fix up the yard. 맞죠? 그래서 야드를 좀 고치는 게 낫겠다.
Really good.
Yeah, we're going to record it in Skylar's garage this weekend.
That's a wonderful
What a wonderful
project.
project.
Speaking of projects, I was thinking it might be
It might be cool to fix up the yard. It might be cool to fix up the yard. 다시 한번 잘 들어볼까요? 어떻게 얘기하는지.
cool to fix up the yard.
It might be cool to fix up the yard. I mean, how much can grass seed cost?
What?
I mean, how much can grass seed cost? I could plant a lawn, maybe some flowers.
Plant a lawn and 자,
It's a wonderful project.
Speaking of projects, I was thinking it might be cool to fix up the yard.
What?
I mean,
how much can grass seed cost?
how much can grass seed cost? I could plant a lawn.
I could plant a lawn. 네, lawn이 뭡니까? 저 잔디를 심을 수도 있고, maybe some flowers. 꽃도 심을 거야.
Maybe some flowers.
심을 거예요.
I could even put up a fence.
I even could put up the fence. fence를
Speaking of projects, I was thinking it might be cool to fix up
펜스를
the
이제
yard.
인스톨했다는 거죠.
I mean, how much can grass seed cost? I could plant a lawn, maybe some flowers. I could even put up a fence.
Put up the
Honey.
fence. Put up the fence.
That's a major undertaking.
It's a major undertaking. 이거는 되게 많은 일이야.
I could pay for it with my egg money.
Yeah, I could pay for it with my egg money.
No,
that's
that's
your
your
money.
money. The landlord should be the one taking care of all this.
The landlord should be taking care of all the work. 저 landlord 뭡니까? 얘네들 렌트예요. 세입자죠. 그 집주인이 그것을 모든 다 take care 해야 돼. 그걸 다 해야 된다. 이렇게 얘기하죠.
That's a major
So
undertaking.
undertaking.
I could pay for it with my egg money.
No,
That's
that's
your
your
money.
money. The
Landlord
landlord
should be the one taking care of all this. So the landlord should be the one taking care of all this.
should be the one taking care of all this.
But he doesn't.
Doesn't.
And we live here. And it looks so bad.
It looks so bad.
Jules,
So
what's going on?
what's going on?
Nothing, Dad.
I think that 아무것도 아니에요.
It's okay, sweetheart.
Okay, sweetheart.
You can tell
You
us.
can tell us.
The Loskis have been throwing away my eggs because they're afraid of salmonella.
Yeah. Lost have been throwing away my eggs because they are afraid of salmonella. 살모넬라가 두려워서 나의 결혼을 버렸다고 합니다.
Because our yard is
Because our yard is such a mess.
such a mess.
좀
Did Patsy say
say
that?
that? Patsy say that? No? Bryce did.
Bryce did.
It must have been a family discussion.
Family
A
discussion
boy
is
doesn't
done.
come up with that on his own.
Who cares what they think? Yeah, who cares?
I
Who cares
care.
what they think?
Trina.
I care.
Let's not get into this.
No, I'm tired of
I'm
living
tired
like
of
this.
living like this.
I'm tired of
편하다는
having
거죠.
to take
이렇게
temp
사는 게.
jobs just
I'm
to
tired
make
of
ends
having a
meet.
push and shove.
I'm tired of having to
Against the
push a
washing
chair up against the washing machine just to keep the door shut.
예. 여기서 그 wash and dry가 잘 워킹이 안 돼서 그 도어를 계속 푸시 해야 된다고 얘기하고요. Tired of having to borrow Stu's vacuum cleaner. vacuum cleaner가 고장 나서 스튜비스 하우스의 vacuum cleaner를 뭐 빌렸다. 이거
I'm
얘기하죠.
tired of having to borrow Mrs. Stubby's vacuum cleaner.
I'm tired of 이런 expression 많이 쓰죠. 난 피곤하다. 이젠 더 이상 피곤해 죽겠다.
Every time ours breaks down, I'm
Do you think this is the
Do you think it's
life I
like
pictured for us?
Do you think this is the life I picture for us? 내가 그리는 이게 생활인지 알아? 이렇게 얘기하죠.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice to do the right thing.
Sometimes we had to sacrifice something we desire to. 이렇게 우리 인생에서 희생이 필요하다. 무엇이 옳은 것을 하려면 희생이 필요하다고 얘기하죠.
We always end up agreeing that Devonhurst is the right thing for.
데번허스트는요. 데번허스트라는 것은 데니얼, 자기 브라더 데니얼이 머무르는 곳을 얘기하죠. 이 사람의 브라더가 disable, 그러니까 mentally challenged person인데요. 그 사람이 있어야 될 곳, 그것을 하느라고 이제 거기에 돈이 많이 들어간다는 거죠.
Daniel.
well, maybe we should start thinking about what's right for us.
So maybe we should think about what's right for us, not only for Daniel, but we have to think about us. 우리는 이렇게 못 사는데 네 브라더만 그게 take care of 하면 되느냐 이런 말이죠. Our daughter is suffering because we won't fix up our own yard. 그래서 내 daughter가 이렇게 고통을 당한다는 거죠. 야드를 고치지 않아서.
Our daughter
No,
is
it's
suffering
suffering
because we
because
won't fix up our own yard.
It's not
Not
our yard.
How can you say that, Richard? How? We've
We've
lived here
lived
for
here
12
12
years,
years.
and for 12 years we've been saying it's
12년 동안
temporary, but
we've
it's
been saying
not.
it's temporary.
This is our home.
This is my home.
Is it wrong to want to live somewhere you can be proud of? To have enough to send your kids to college? Maybe it's time we considered government care.
We are not moving my brother.
He's more important than your own children.
It's more important than your children. 한 거죠.
Dad!
How dare you?
Dad!
Stop it. Please just stop.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Julian,
Julia,
this is not
this
your
is
fault.
not your fault. 너의 잘못이 아니야.
We'll work this out.
Work this out. I promise.
That was the first time I ever heard my parents really yell at each other.
내가 parents가 yelling at each other 하는 거를 처음 들었다는 거죠. I'm sorry about
That night, they each came into my room.
No.
My father talked about his brother and how much he loved him, and how he promised his parents he'd always take care of him.
how he promised his parents he'd always take care of him. How he promised his parents that he'd always take care of him.
My mother talked about how much he loved my father for his strength and kind heart.
예. 그의 마더가 또 와가지고요. 그의 아버지를 너무 사랑한다. 그의 strength와 그 옳은 거를 할 수 있는 그 힘이 있는 것을 대해서 아버지를 되게 존경한다고 얘기했다고 하죠. When she kissed me goodnight. 그녀가 나에게 키스를 했을 때. 굿나잇
When she kissed me
키스를
goodnight, she whispered that of all her many blessings, I was her best.
예, 내가 최고라고 내 엄마는 나에게 속삭였어요. 이런 밤의 위로의 말이 딸에게는 너무나 큰 위안이 됐다는 겁니다.
I felt sorry for my father. I felt sorry for my mother. But most of all, I felt lucky for me that they were mine.
So most of all, I felt lucky for me that they were mine. 그들이 나의 부모님이라는 게 너무나 다행이에요. 행복했어요. 이런 말이죠. 이 아이는 부모님 가난해도 부모들에게 사랑을 받으면서 컸기 때문에 너무나 행복한 마음을 가지고 있었습니다.
I wanted to think the reason I started working on my yard had
I wanted to think the reason why I started to work 야드에서 일한 이유가
nothing to do with Bryce.
nothing to do with Bryce. 브라이스 때문이 아니에요.
It was only about making our house look better.
It's only about making my house better. 나의 집을 더 좋게 만들기를 원해서죠.
After what he did with the eggs,
After what he did with the eggs, why should I care what he thought? 그죠?
why should I care what he thought about anything?
야, 내가 그 egg 사건 이후로는 그가 뭘 생각하는지 나에게 무슨 상관이야?
But I did.
What I did.
Are you pruning that or
Yes.
trying to hack it to death?
그렇지만 또 상관을 한다는 거죠. 기분이 나빴다는 거죠.
I'm Jed Duncan, Bryce's grandfather. Sorry it's taking me so long to come over and introduce myself.
너무 시간이 걸려서 미안하다. 나를 소개하는데.
So are you getting all these at the same height?
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm
But
thinking.
I don't know. Do you think it would look better just to take them out?
Oh, these are hicksue shrubs. These will prune up nicely.
Listen, Mr. Duncan.
Call me Chet.
Call me Chet.
Chet, if you're here because of what Bryce said,
What Bryce said. 당신이 브라이스가 얘기한 것 때문에 여기 왔다면은 I don't need your help. 그죠? 난 너의 도움이 필요 없어.
I don't need your help.
What about you in the paper?
Read about you in the paper. 너에 대한 paper, newspaper를 읽었다는 거죠. 신문을 읽었다.
Renee would have sat up in that tree.
Renee would have sat up in that tree, would you? 네. 리네라는 사람이 would have sat up. 여기 또 would have sat up 나오죠. would have sat up. would have sat up. 그러니까 리네가 너와 함께 추리에 같이 앉아 있었을 텐데, 그렇죠? would have sat up in that tree, would you? 리네가 누구일까요? 보세요.
With you. She would have sat up there all night.
Sat up all night. Renee sat up all night. Renee would have sat up with you on the tree all night. Would have sat up. Renee,
Renee?
My wife.
my wife. 자기의 와이프가
You remind me a lot of her.
You remind me a lot of her. 그러니까 remind me a lot of her. 나의 와이프를 많이 닮았어 이렇게 얘기하는 거죠. 자, 이 할아버지는 이 니를 줄리라는 소녀를 보면서 자기 와이프를 연상하게 됩니다. 자기 와이프가 뭐 세상을 떠났으니까 너무 그리웠겠죠. 근데 그 아이의 성격을 보면서 와이프를 생각할 수 있었다고 이렇게 미소를 짓고 있죠. 할아버지가요.
We worked on the
Yeah, we
yard
worked
for
on the
weeks.
yard.
And the whole time we worked,
we
we talked.
우리가 워킹할 때 우리가 얘기했다는 거죠. Right there, perfect.
He wanted to know more about the
He wanted to know more about the sycamore tree.
sycamore tree. And he knew exactly
Exactly
what it meant
what it
about the
meant.
whole being greater than the sum.
he exactly know about the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. 그렇죠. 부분적으로 아는 것보다 whole being, 전체적인 게 더 중요하다는 것을 안다는 거죠.
of its parts. He said it was the same with people.
It was the same with the people. Sometimes with the people, the whole could be less. 그죠? Sometimes with the people, 사람도 마찬가지다. Whole could be less. 전체가 더 less 할 수 있다는 거죠. part에 비해서. partially 좋을 수 있어도 전체가 좋지 않을 수 있다는 거죠. 그래서 모든 부분을 부분적으로 보지 말고 전체를 보라는 거죠.
But sometimes with people, the whole could be less. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I thought it was pretty interesting. 정말 interesting해.
I started looking at people I known since elementary school.
So, 이 줄리가 한번 생각해봤어요. 누가 whole person like it, 아니면 sum of part라는 거. Trying to figure out if they were more or less. So, trying to figure out if they were more or less than the sum of their parts. 그죠? 그들이 more or less than 그들의 sum of parts보다 부분적인 것보다 더 좋은지 안 좋은지에 대해서 생각해봤대요.
Some of their parts. Chet was
That was
right.
right. A lot of them were less. 이 여자아이를 보면서 저렇게 이쁘게 생겼지만 전체적으로 이 부분적으로 얼굴은 이쁘지만 전체적으로는 그렇게 아름답지 않다. 정말 뭐 좋은 캐릭터라든가 뭐 하는 행동 뭐 이제 인텔리전시 뭐 인텔렉추얼 어빌러리 뭐 이런 걸 전체적으로 봤을 때 정말 저 여자아이가 차밍할까 이렇게 생각하는 거죠.
Of all my classmates, the one person I couldn't seem to place was Bryce.
자기는 근데 브라이스를 봤을 때 자기는 어떻게 평가를 할 수가 없대요. 감정이 좀 들어가서 그런가요? 생각하는 거죠. 이 사람이 진짜 greater than sum of parts or less than sum of parts. 보이는 것보다 정말 greater 할까? 겉모습보다 속이 알찰까? 뭐 진짜 겉모습은 그렇게 안 멋있어도 속이 뭐 겉모습은 뭐 눈이 dazzling eye. 그래서 눈이 되게 매력적이다고 하니까 그렇지만 그 속도 그렇게 dazzling eye 같이 아름다울까 많이 생각하는 거죠.
Until recently, I would have said with absolute
여기 또 I would have said.
classmates, the one person I couldn't seem to place was Bryce.
Until recently, I would have said with absolute certainty. I would have said with absolute certainty. 했죠? I would have said 내가 얘기했을 거야 with absolute certainty. 정확한 확신을 가지고 얘기할 수 있었을 거야 라는 거죠. So would have said 그죠? would have 그러니까 그렇게 확신을 가지고 했었을 거야.
Recently, I would have said with absolute certainty that he was greater.
Yeah, I would have said he was greater, far greater than some of his parts. Recently까지 그랬다는 거죠.
Far greater than the sum of his parts. But now I wasn't so sure.
Now I wasn't so sure. 나는 그렇지만 지금은 확실치가 않아.
It's looking good, Julie.
It's looking good,
job.
Julie. Nice job.
Thanks. Chet did most of it.
Chet did most of it.
I'm sorry for what I did.
I'm sorry for what I did. 내가 한 것이 너무 잘못됐어.
I just don't get it, Bryce.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it, Bryce. I just don't get it, Bryce.
Why didn't you just tell me?
Why didn't you just tell me? Why didn't you just tell me?
Was he really sorry?
Was he really sorry?
Or was he just saying these things to make himself feel
Was he just saying these things to make himself feel better?
better?
I did. No, it was...
Then I thought
thought
maybe I
maybe I
just
just
wanted him
wanted
to be more than the sum of his parts.
자, 그래서 또 생각을 하게 됐어. I want him to be more than sum of parts.
Didn't you just tell me?
Just tell me.
Was he really sorry?
sorry?
Or was he
Was he just saying these things to make himself feel better? 그가 자기 기분이 좋게 하기 위해서 말하는
just saying
걸까?
these things to make himself feel better? Then I thought
maybe I just wanted him to be more than the sum of his parts.
maybe I just wanted him to be more than the sum of his parts. But as I looked into his eyes, those
dazzling eyes.
for the
For
first
the first
time,
time,
I was pretty sure that Bryce Losky was
I was pretty sure that Bryce Losky was less.
less.
자, 오늘은 또 8번째 이야기 여기까지 하겠습니다. 이제 조금씩 줄리의 마음이 또 변하고 있어요. 아, 정말로 저 남자는 정말 멋진 남자였는데 그게 아닌가? 정말 sum of parts 이런 dazzling eye를 보면은 그냥 너무 이쁜데 너무 멋있는데 또 생각해 보니까 이 사람은 전체적으로는 아름다운 사람이 아닐 수도 있다고 의심을 하게 되죠. 다웃하게 됩니다. 자, 이렇게 심리적인 변화를 잘 이야기하고 있는데 여러분은 어떠세요? 재밌지 않으세요? 그래서 이 영화는 참 심리적인 변화를 잘 묘사를 했어요. 그래서 참 좋은 영화라고 생각합니다. 자, 오늘 즐거운 하루 되시고요. 그럼 또 내일 봬요. 바이.